Hey yo, what is up? Today is the Errinnir Gecko. This pad came in about a month ago exactly, and I've been on it the entire time. First of all, it was a heavy package that came in flat packed, and it had a stiff exterior cardboard box, and once you manage to pry open that box with a crowbar, then it will reveal the sleek looking black sleeve with the Errinnir branding in the front. To be honest with you, it looks pretty good, and I kind of like envy them for them a little bit. The pad itself is well protected with another plastic sleeve inside it, and the bottom of the pad, or the base, also had another layer of foam that you needed to peel off before you lay it down on your table. Kudos to them for doing a good job on the exterior hardened cardboard box that I think it took me a long time to actually open it, because they didn't seal it with tape, but they had like gum or glue to close the box off. So you really had to peel it off carefully, because I was worried about putting a blade through it and cut through the pad inside, because I didn't know if the pad was inside the cardboard box or inside another sleeve. So a good job to them for actually having double, triple protection for the pad that was inside the box. Now, before we continue with the review, I am playing on 90+ degrees temperatures and 80+% humidity on the outside. I think we are 44% humidity inside my room right now. I have 21 by 12 hands, and I have a very light grip. Not that it matters, because I am reviewing a mouse pad today, not a mouse. I've got sweaty fingertips and a clammy hand. Of course it would affect the pad if my sweat got onto the pad. So I hope this information is useful to you. This is of course a cloth pad measuring 500 by 500 millimeters. The thickness itself I measured was 3.75, and this is described as a control pad. This also has what I would describe as a hard rubber base, like I was showing you. Very much like a freeform SV base. Not like I've ever owned one, but I know what it's supposed to feel like. It's kind of like hard, it's kind of like it's a hard rubber basically. It's pretty insane, to be honest. In the promo video, they actually stuck the pad onto the hood of an SUV and then pulled it along, so that you know how sticky it is. Now, if I had to liken this pad to anything out there, I would say this is a bit like the IKEA Lance Polari pad. The speed and the hardness of the base is very similar to the IKEA Lance Polari. Now, the Lance Polari I think is maybe a little bit thicker, and maybe the pad is not as, or the base is not as hard or as tough as this one. This one is definitely on the hard side. You can hear the stickiness when I peel it off the table. It is like, it's like I have cellophane tape stuck to the table. So it's very sticky, very hard base. I don't know if you can see this on this camera, but you can definitely have a feel of what I'm trying to explain to you here. It is a pretty hard pad. For a rubber pad, this is a hard rubber pad. Like I was saying, they pulled an SUV with it. That's how sticky the base is. And again, it's like a Lance Polari pad. The speed almost similar, the hardness almost similar. It feels like you're getting kind of like a finished product of a IKEA Lance Polari. Imagine an IKEA Lance Polari, it did not have the stitched edges. So this one has stitched edges, and it has a huge size. The IKEA, of course, remember, it's a small size, and everyone was saying, including me, it could have been a perfect pad if it was like 490 by 420 and it had stitch edges. A lot of people would have gravitated towards the Lance Polare as a viable enthusiast mouse pad, you know what I'm saying? So imagine that IKEA Lance Polare with a 500 by 500 and stitch edges. I guess that is what best describes my experience with the Errinnir Gecko. Now, control pads are usually code for slow pad, or at least a pad on the slower side. But of course, this also depends on the type of skates you have on your mouse. You could have two mice with the same skates, but you're gonna have them react very differently. Let me show you. That's completely different, even though you've got the same skates. Obviously my R1 SE here has a high spot in the middle, so it doesn't really count, but I'm going to show you the G Pro Superlight V2 with the stock skates, and you can see that it is actually pretty, it's a pretty quick pad. For a control pad, it is a pretty quick pad, pretty smooth. This VXE Pro Max has a pretty slow speed for some reason, so I'm not getting the kind of spin test that I'm used to getting on this Gecko. What I'm trying to say is this Gecko is pretty fast for a control pad. You know, in general, it's faster than your regular control pads, and this has a lot to do with the hardness of the base. It's because the base is you know, it has a solid, it has very little rebound, and because it's hard, that's why it's gonna feel a little bit faster than your regular control pads, is what I'm trying to say. But I guess you can probably tell that by now I really like this pad, but it is not without its flaws. There are a couple of things that I wish were different. Number one, this is 2024. I feel like in 2024 you need some kind of like color or design, or you know, some kind of anime or whatever. Either you have some kind of design, anime girls, you know, whatever, like the what's popular right now, going out there with the ninjas and the shoguns and the anime girls with guns or knives or whatever. That is kind of like trending right now. You're gonna have to need some kind of design to attract all the new buyers of these kinds of pads, enthusiast grade pads, or at least have some color options: red, green, blue, yellow, white. Those are popular. I think that's what you need, number one. Number two, I prefer a 490 by 420. Not like it makes a difference to me. 500 by 500 is also fine. It fits on my desk. It's just that I'm not going to be able to make use of a lot of that. Most of that real estate just goes to waste. A 490 by 420 is like a perfect balance between a medium and a large. I think that is like the best size for me anyway. And I think it's going to be popular for the mousepad company as well, because I think that's the size that will sell the most. And number three, this pad, as far as I know, is not yet available on sale to the public, so this is a little bit of a downside. It's hard for me to recommend you to get this pad because it's not available to you yet, but when it does become available, it is worth checking out. I'm sure a lot of people will be definitely liking this pad. This is, in my opinion, I think it's going to be one of the more popular pads. Unfortunately, right now it's just black. If they made some other color options, I guarantee that it will be elevated. It's going to be even more in demand. But anyway, that is my conclusion of the Errinnir Gecko I really enjoy this pad. I'm going to use this pad for a long while. I would use it a lot longer if they had a little bit of color on it or some kind of design like I mentioned earlier. Yeah, so hope you enjoyed this video, took some useful information. Keep your eye out for it when it is released. I will try to let you know when it does come out. I was in touch with the reps about 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago, and they said they would have some news in a couple of days, and it's been 3 weeks and I still haven't heard anything from them. So that, take it for what it is, but we'll see what happens in the next couple of weeks or whatever. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next video. Bye bye.